There we
Okay.
go.
So, to anybody tuning in, this is me and Trent. Trent. Oh, damn it, I put it as bands. Okay, well, you're not playing Neath, so fuck Neath. I forgot to change it to Blind Pig. I guess you don't want to learn how to bass dead, so okay, we'll make.
No. I don't
Um,
know. I just.
eh. Oh, it's one ban. Okay, I almost locked in Isis. I would have been pissed. I'm gonna follow you around as Thanatos because he's my favorite god.
All right.
But this is a 1v1 conquest game where I'm going to teach Trent how to run around in the jungle. So we're going to start at a high level and with lots of gold because this is specifically teaching Trent how to run around and route through the jungle and not ganking or anything right now because Trent's not a very good jungler, right, Trent?
Yeah, all I play is support, so
And occasional solo in mid.
yeah. I mean, but support, like, I think I've gotten better at helping lanes.
You've
But
gotten
it's
better at rotations, yeah.
yeah. It's kind of different though. It's not like you're rotating more to mostly save lives.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can gank and kill.
Especially if you go mid and they're pushed out and you're like Wukong, you can just CC lock them and then your mage can blow them up.
Yeah.
But for
But
the most part, you're just going to secure the mid camp, maybe help clear a lane in mid, and then go back to
yeah.
like solo or like help the jungler if he's in the right side jungler or something.
Right.
You're not trying to go around and gank everybody at the same time like a jungler would. Though a jungler's main like role is to help mid and solo win their lanes, and not so much duo lane. You can go duo, but some people like it, some people don't. I'm not a very big fan of going duo lane at all because I feel like two people should be able to hold off two people, especially when this especially in casual queue. If it was high ranked play, then it would make sense that I would go over there every once in a while because it'd just be two carries fighting it out. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, ganking duo lane seems like the circumstance, like if
yeah.
they're completely getting destroyed and yeah,
Well,
you
if they're
probably
getting
should.
that destroyed, if you gank, nobody's going to be able to follow up, and you're going to get owned. So.
Yeah.
Hey, my FPS doesn't start at 60. Praise Hi-Res Kate! I love you! Oh my god. She's the person in charge of the maps, so.
Oh.
Fucking, thank
Okay.
god.
So are we doing like late game?
I mean, you can build, well, since you're Thor, I could tell you what to build on Thor. Do you want to go straight assassin Thor, or do you want to go a more bruisery kind of Thor?
I mean, I guess bruisery.
Because I do assassin Thor. That's what I like on Thor. But that's just me. You don't
Well,
have to
I
say
mean,
take what I do as, like, law.
yeah.
But bruisery kind of Thor would go something like Warrior Tabi, Jotun's Void Blade. What else can you pick up on him? Titan's Bane, and then like a Magi's Blessing and Urchin.
So Void Blade.
Shit. What do I
Called
buy?
Void Shield now.
Oh yeah, I forgot they changed the name of it.
What was that before? Let's see.
Urchin?
Urchin after
Hide of the
Void Blade.
Urchin. Yeah. And a Magi's Blessing. Where is that anyway? Oh, there's regular. No, there's not. Oh, there is, but it's funny. If you go to Ancient Blade for attack speed, you see Fatalis like as one of the things, like a regular Fatalis, but it's not in the store anymore. It's just like what it builds up into. It's like Ancient Blade to Fatalis to hasten Fatalis. It's kind of funny. Oh. Oh, and they gave it they gave it the focused Void Blades picture. I guess that does kind of sort of look like a shield.
Okay, I've got Warriors Tabi, Wrath, Shield, Void Shield,
Mm-hmm.
Hide,
Mm-hmm.
Magi's Blessing,
Titan's
and then
Bane.
what? Titan's Bane.
Is that 6 items?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've got a bubble, and I don't know what else to buy because I'm Thanatos, and I forgot what I buy.
Okay. So the new timers though,
That'll make it slightly easier, to be honest.
yeah.
I'm going to cough, so I need to mute my mic. Excuse me. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. I get a Void Blade too. Shit. The timers make it easier to learn, like, actual when everything is. You don't have to keep everything in mental math, but, so go to speed buff. I'll meet you at your
Alright.
speed buff.
Already here.
Alright, I'm on my way. You know what? I can go faster if I do this.
I like the new artwork for the items.
I do too. They look sexy.
Game's looking really,
Sexy.
yeah, polished.
All right. So, as you know, this is the standard stop that. The standard start for destroyed side is go to speed, go to blue, then go to lane. So, kill the speed buff. Oh, okay then.
Wow.
I tried to steal it from
I
you.
blocked it.
Hey, you did. I got health back though. All right. So now you're getting blue buff for your solo laner.
Solo laner, yeah.
All right. So now we head over to the solo lane. Oh yeah, this is your side. Go away, stupid minions. All right. So now you stay here until you're like level 3-ish, like level 3.5. Ooh, look at
Okay.
all this experience. 1 second.
Generally, how many waves is that?
Let's see. So you're level 2 as soon as you do both of those buffs. You come over here. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side. I think it's like 3 waves.
Okay.
But around, like, I know for a fact what time it is instead of how many waves you've done. Around 1 minute 40 is when you want to leave.
Okay.
Because at that point, God damn it, at that time, you're going to have to go. I'm apparently poolside in this. So, like, let's say it's 1 minute 40. So you're going to leave, and you're going to head towards the mid camp. What I like to do when I play, like, Thanatos or even Thor is just circle around and see where mid's at and see if I can gank them. Because if the mid laner is pushed up at all, they're probably going to get fucked. So, like, if your mid laner is standing in where I'm at, then you'll come from behind them and then fuck their day up.
Right. So if they're pushing our my mid really hard.
Yeah, you can come up behind them and you can probably get a kill if your mid laner pays attention. And if you don't, you stay and get like 1 wave of experience. You'll hit level 4,
Yeah.
and then you can come over, get a mid camp. So, get the mid camp, come back out, and by this time, it's you. Even if we're playing only casual, like, you keep getting hit by that, and I don't know why. You just don't care, do you?
I got a bubble.
Well, it's gone now. What was I gonna say? Oh, by this time, if the enemy support is paying any kind of attention, this mid camp will be gone. Especially if you start destruction and you get the right one, or your left, my right. So this should it should be dead. So, but you should be close enough to where if you take leech 1 more wave off of the mid laner, you'll hit 5, and they should already be 5. So that's what I do.
So after
getting the mid camp, yeah, since they usually rotate over there, I just help clear the mid lane as quickly as possible.
Okay.
To try to deny some experience and gold for the enemy mid laner, since they got the mid camp. And then after you do mid, if you got a kill, great. If you didn't, great. As long as you don't end up dying somehow, it's awesome and dandy. But if you start destroyed side, by this time it'll be around 2 minutes 30 seconds, almost 3 minutes, in the real game. I like to come over, kill the red buff. I don't like taking it because I want speed, and speed will come back in 1 minute 30. So that's why I don't pick it up, and I'll drop it for the mid laner. And then I'll get this small camp, and by this time, the other small camp would be there as well, where you would have started on speed side, unless you came back and unless everything got stripped from you, somehow they got both mid camps, then you would kill the other small camp before you even do any of the other stuff I said.
Okay.
And that's like a worst case scenario.
So I mean, it seems like it depends. A lot of these things depend on the circumstances, and
it kind of does. It depends on whether or not your mid laner is actually actually having a presence in mid lane and keeping the enemy out of not out of, but being hey, you can't just go wherever the fuck you want. I'm here. You have to fight me. And instead, sometimes you'll get people play mid who are just oh god, I don't want to be. I'm gonna be in my tower.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get screwed because you don't have any pressure at mid camps, and then you lose both of them. And that's really shitty. I haven't had that happen in a while. It seems like we're getting matched with people who are actually pretty competent lately. So If it does happen, I'm sorry, Trent, but if it doesn't, then, you know, shit happens.
Shit happens.
But, so, by this time, like after all of that, you'll be around level 6. And,
Okay, so after the red buff.
yeah, after red buff and all that stuff, you'll be like level 6-ish.
Okay.
And by then, if I was playing Thor, as soon as you get your ult, you want to try to gank because it's a semi-global ultimate, and you should just be
Okay.
trying to use it every single chance you get. So you'll always be looking for a gank. And if I was Thanatos, I definitely would have ganked somebody and probably killed somebody because 4-3-1 at level 5 is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the 2 lanes you want to pay most attention to are the solo mid lanes because they're the easiest for the people like in them to snowball out of control. I mean, like
Yeah.
just killing your solo or mid laner over and over and over again. Whereas the
Right.
duo lanes kind of, can I gank that lane? Are they like pushed all the way to our tower? And like, what kind of tank do they have? What item? Like you have to check like what active items and what tank you're going up against before you gank
Okay.
duo.
And like what abilities they just use.
Yeah.
So if they have like an escape or something.
And this is why I don't like playing jungle, because well, I do like playing jungle. I just would prefer that we have somebody play mid when I play jungle, because if Agni's in the mid lane, I get fucked because I can never gank him because I don't know when his dash is down. Which is why I
Yeah.
don't like playing against Agni. And now that Scylla's out and she can fucking use her stupid dog and dash away, that's gonna suck even more. Ugh. But that now you know the pains of a jungler who has
Jungler.
only somebody in support in the duo lane, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not even paying attention to your lane.
Yeah, that's true.
But I get by. So,
So what about like defensive ganks?
when somebody's like dying,
Like, well, like say their jungler ganks the lane,
which
like-
lane?
say solo,
Okay.
and I mean, do you go out of your way to like help protect them against that gank, or is it like, oh, I'm nearby, I can help out, you know, kind of thing?
I mean, your Joel, what the fuck was I even trying to say there? Your goal as a jungler is to farm and try to help lanes out. It is not to be the protector and savior and carrier of the team. It's to get farmed so late game that you can help out and gank early game.
Okay.
If the solo lane is getting continuously ganked, you should try to have pressure over there so the enemy jungler at least knows you're helping them out. But it is not your mission to save them. Like, they should be placing wards, they should have map awareness as well as like any other player should. So it's as much as their fault for getting ganked that often as it is your fault for not ganking often enough if they say that.
Okay. So if
So-
you see them like getting destroyed, you're like, well, there's really no point.
Well, I mean, if you see them just getting hammered, you want to try to have a presence, especially if you're in the area. But if you're across the map and they're like, jungler, why you no gank? It's like, I'm at my speed buff. Why the fuck would I be in solo lane?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
That, at least from pristine side, the blue side that I'm on, you know?
Yeah.
For you, it's more, why are you at speed buff while
Yeah.
your solo lane's getting destroyed? That's rude. But that's another thing, is learning when to farm the jungle and when to like go over to a like save an enemy or something. Like if you're over here doing your speed buff, just attacking away, and all of a sudden you see something going to like solo lane, you should stop and just be like, oh, gotta go over here. Even it doesn't matter how like much you've killed. Okay, if we're gonna get rid of each other's bubbles, it doesn't matter how much you've killed the buff. If you can see that somebody's about to get ganked or like get jumped on, and
Yeah.
you know you can like do something to help out, it should it would be in your like
Best entrance.
best interest to stop doing the jungle buff and go try to help them out. So that's another thing. But so yeah, the standard route for this side is speed, blue, solo lane, stay till like a minute 40, go to mid lane, try to get a gank. If it fails, oh well. If you can't get a gank, like you can clearly see that the enemy is not even anywhere near the middle of the lane or anything, you want to get your
Yeah.
small camp,
Okay.
and then you go back for the mid camp. And so now that we've covered destroyed side, let's go over to pristine side and talk about the start there, because it is vastly different. So there are two starts on this side that I've seen. The more popular start is for jungle to solo red, and then meet solo laner at blue, and while the solo and mid get the mid camp. You've seen me do that a million times. You know that start.
Right.
Recently, well, not recently, about a month or so ago, some pro players have started doing triple start where they get speed blue, like they get small camp speed blue and then go to duo lane and stuff like that. I've seen some people do it. It's not a really popular thing in any way, shape, or form, because then you miss out on a mid camp. But, and here's the thing, if the enemy doesn't know you're not doing the mid camp, you actually fuck with the other jungler's rotations, because if you can tell that they don't do it and then you can go over to it and get it, that means the other enemy doesn't know when the hell you got it. So, well, it used to be that way. Now with these timers, when you kill something, all you have to do is see that I've killed this, and now you know that there's a time, like when it was dropped.
Yeah.
And also, if I killed this, and this was your side instead of mine, so like I invaded your jungle when you were off in the duo lane or something, trying to help them out, and killed this red buff, the timer works. As soon as you see that this isn't here, the timer will fill up how long until it comes back, which kind of sucks about these timers, because it discourages invading, to be honest, because now you know exactly when this is coming back, even though you weren't anywhere near it.
But doesn't it help you though? Like,
it helps you come back. Yeah, it helps a person who's behind figure out, oh, they invaded this time. Like the camp's gonna be back in 2 minutes if it's halfway full. Oh, that's another thing. I never explained to you what timers everything is on. So, buffs. So your speed, blue, red buff, all of the actual like buffs are on a 4-minute respawn timer.
Okay.
So from the time the big minion dies to when it will respawn is 4 minutes. The mid camps are on a 2-minute respawn timer, and the small harpy camps are on a 100-second timer.
Okay.
So that if you want to know that, because like since you didn't know that before, you can see this is a quarter of the way done. So a quarter of 4 minutes is 3 minutes left, I think, if I'm doing that right. Yeah. So now you know that that's got 3 minutes to respawn and stuff like that.
So those timers are awesome.
Yeah. Well, for people who are getting started, for someone like me who's memorized stuff like that, it's kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
But I can't complain helping noobs out.
I saw people complain like pro players are not going to need that and stuff.
Yeah. Pon, the jungler for Denial, doesn't like it. DM doesn't like it. He's a jungler. Dare to Care, who's actually the support for COG, doesn't like it. Barracuda doesn't like it. MLC Stealth, who's the mid laner for COG, doesn't like it. Lots of people don't like it. Mostly pro players.
Well, they should like make it an option, you know?
Yeah. But see, the thing is, if it's an option only in competitive games, so like custom matches, it kind of makes sense. But if it's an option that I can press escape and go to settings and turn off, there's no reason for me to ever turn that off, because I'm just putting myself at a disadvantage. Because my mental math may get tripped up, but me watching the timers doesn't get messed up unless it glitches out. So
maybe like in ranked matches, not make it a thing. I don't know.
That's some of the suggestions, is either remove it or make it in custom matches where like people play like tournament play, and not make it a thing, or ranked matches also not a thing.
Yeah, I don't see it hanging around too much longer.
Also, another thing they introduced was where if I have a ward, but I can't see the person, the ward can have vision of them, even though it's not showing vision. It'll be like, an enemy has been detected, and it's like, what the fuck is that about? I don't like that either. You missed my bubble.
No, I'm building a wall.
Oh, okay.
You can't pass, so it went down.
What else? So we talked about the start at blue. Start on this side, because you get red buff, you get blue buff, you stay in solo lane. Same thing. Then you come over here, try to gank mid laner. Get out of here, minion. It's the same, whereas you come try to gank again. But what is different? I'm trying to think what's different. Let's see. Your mid will be there, so I would be coming from this side. Yeah. So technically, this jungle camp would be considered my side's jungle camp.
Yeah.
And your side would be over there. Even though, if I'm fast enough, I can get both of them.
Right.
Bam. So,
So
yeah.
say you're jungling and for some reason you're far away from the mid camp
Mm.
and you see that it comes back up. Like, should you? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say here is mid camps always like priority?
Yes and no. Like, if you see the mid camp come up and you're nowhere close to it, you just like mid should know to rotate and try to secure it.
Right. And support.
Yeah. Because if you're not near there and you're in the middle of doing something, it's like I can't just stop what I'm doing, depending on what it is, and go over there. Like if you're backing and you see a mid camp come up and you have enough health and mana to go get it, then you should go over there without being too risky.
Yeah.
But if you're like on the verge of death and you see it respawn, then you don't want to go over there because then you're just
Because
gonna
yeah,
get
it's not
screwed.
worth it.
Yeah. Or if you're in the middle of ganking, or if you're getting like if you're at blue buff and dropping that for either the support or duo, you can just head over there afterward. You don't have to stop doing that.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
Though, if you're, especially with the new timers, you'll be able to notice it a lot better.
Yeah.
So it's not like, damn it, Trent, I was trying to kill the minions.
No.
It's a lot easier to figure out when it's coming back. It's no more, it's not so much mental math. So you'll be able to tell better.
Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. But mid camps are generally the most important thing to farm because you
There's
can get
so much.
yeah. They're I think they're worth an entire waves of experience and gold. So they're kind of important. They're kind of a big deal. What else? Mid camps are important because mid lane will snowball and get really ahead if you can get secure.
Okay, so how about? I mean, I'm sure it depends on the god that you are, but what is better for a jungler, speed or red buff?
Speed, always speed.
Always doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Speed buff is what you want because that means you can move faster and gank faster.
Okay.
Also, there are two jungle starts now that people are starting to use. Thanatos is all kinds of weird, so we're not going to go over him. But the jungle starts that people like right now are Bumba's Red Pot Hand 1. You know that start.
Yeah.
Because that's been the start forever. But another start people are starting to experiment with that are, it's less about killing enemies and more about just safely farming is Bumba's Hand 2, and then like, how much gold is that? That's 1,400, and then like a blue and green potion.
Okay.
Because that means you can hand like camps faster than the enemy can, because if they start the red pot, because your hand will come up every 60 seconds, where theirs will be up every 90 seconds.
Well, and also, didn't they combine a health and mana pot?
Well, you mean the multi potion thing?
Yeah.
The multi potion sucks. Don't buy that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
The only time you would buy a multi potion is like if you're the support and you also have wards, and like you didn't buy eye, and you're like purposely trying to ward with just wards, and you want health and mana back.
Oh, okay. Well, that's useful for me.
Yeah, but for what's it called? A jungler.
Anybody else?
Yeah, anybody else. You would buy separate pots. So you can do either one of those starts. The red pot start is more for like the early gank at level 3 that I was talking about, and maybe like an early invade. Well, actually not invading so much because that's dangerous. You don't want to lose the red pot by invading.
Right.
If you invade, you don't pop that for a little bit because you don't want to fucking waste 400 or 400 gold. How much is that thing? Yeah, 400 gold.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one's more safe. You're just trying to kill camps and be like secure. Like you don't want to fall behind by losing the red pot. You're just
I mean, invading is a whole.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
So it's like once I get pretty good at normal jungling, you know.
Then you can start talking about invading. Yeah.
Yeah.
Invading's mostly something you do only with people you can communicate with, though, because if you can't and shit goes bad, then how are you supposed to be like, if do this or do that? Whereas you saw before when the Kali invaded me yesterday where we were playing and you were Isis, we fucked her because she popped her red pot and stole my buff, but we killed her.
Yeah.
I mean, speed buff. But she got screwed because we ended up killing her and she wasted her red pot with that invade. We ended up losing that game because we had a shitty duo lane, but
Nonetheless, it was a good start.
I mean, we told her not to fuck around. Or we don't fuck around. Mostly because you don't invade on a Thanatos, especially if the person playing Thanatos is any kind of competent. Because they start with their 1, which is going to... At level 1, Thanatos' Death Scythe does 100 damage plus 10% of max HP and slows. Like, why would you invade on that? You know I can kill them, even though you're...
Yeah.
You're executable. I would run. No! You will die, Thor.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't juke a giant cone.
No, you can't. Unless you, like, turn back really quick.
Or you stunned me in the middle of it and ran away.
Yeah.
Another thing is just learning how, like, abilities fire with certain gods. That's something you'll have to learn by just playing certain junglers.
Just playing. Yeah.
Especially with Thor, because there's that massive delay on his ultimate, where you kind of just sit there and hope that you're hitting the right thing. But that's, you gotta lead that. Why am I what? Okay. So, you'll see this in the video, but my giant, like my big minions, were going into the tower, turned around, and let the small ones tank it, and then came back in.
That's funny.
That's strange. But, that's all I can think of about routes and, like, just regular farming for right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, to really get the hang of it, it's just playing over and over and, you know, seeing certain situations and responding accordingly to it. But.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to learn how to, like, farm and gank at the same time is definitely by playing. Because if like, that's the only way you're ever going to figure it out. To just
like,
figure out a route and farm, you can just go into a custom game and do this. Or and when they bring in a practice conquest mode, you can figure that out when they do that too. But I mean, the ganking part is...
Like, it's like using the force. You just got to feel it.
Pretty much. Like, I can't really explain why I
mean,
know when to gank.
There's obvious, like... Right? I mean, like, if they're going super hard and, like, they're low health and they're getting really greedy, it's like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, like, if your mid laner is standing here and they're level 3 and I come up from behind them, they're probably going to get their shit rocked because they're not going to get away.
Yeah.
That just comes down to player skill and learning, like, and being aware. Haha. But yeah, so that's about all I can think of right now, Trenticus.
Alrighty, sounds good.
So, you win this time, Thor. I don't think Thor would say that.
No, he'd be like, for Valhalla!
Yeah. But, so, next time, you're going to be playing against people, and you're going to actually be trying to jungle, and I'm going to try not to rip out my ball hair, because...
Ball hair?
I don't have any hair on my head I could rip out, so I mean...
Unless you use tweezers.
Yeah, I don't have a spare pair of tweezers on me. But yeah, you're going to actually go into a game, and then I'll be like, okay, Trent, you can try to do that or do this, while I'm also playing a role.
Yeah, so.
It's going to be a little more difficult, but...
I mean, we could get on our Nerf.
Smurfs?
Smurf.
Yeah, we could, but like...
I wouldn't really learn because I would still destroy.
Yeah, because even though you don't know how to jungle, you know how to play Smite.
Yeah.
So, and those people don't know how to play Smite at all.
So it'd be kind of dick.
Yeah, but that's all for now, everybody. Because I got to do an outro kind of thing for this. Hopefully, anybody watching this was like, oh, that kind of helps me because I don't jungle a lot. I might play hunter or support like Trent or whatever, and I don't know how to jungle, but learning how to do routes and when to go where is kind of nice. So hopefully this tutorial helps not only Trent but anyone else watching this, and I'll see you guys in other videos that I put out because the Conquest map doesn't run like shit anymore. All right, I'll see you later.